ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola Show. Today, we're going to be losing our heads and partying like it's 1999 as we review the 1999 film Sleepy Hollow. No, you imbeciles, not that Sleepy Hollow. That's Disney's 1949, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Yes. Now that's the Sleepy Hollow we're looking for. I don't know what it is about this film, but it just gets me in the fall mood. I like to watch it each year around this time to prep me for the Halloween season, the big show. For some people, it's the falling of the leaves, or the air feeling a little crispier. And still for some others, it's getting their precious little pumpkin spice lattes. But for me, it's watching Sleepy Hollow. This film changes the original story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, quite a bit indeed. By the way, the original was written by Washington Irving all the way back in 1820. Holy mackerel. Talk about a story that stood the test of time. But yes, I think for a modern day audience, you have to take some liberties to keep things spicy, you know. This film had a lot more magical elements going on with the witchcraft and the Hessian being a real demon sent back from hell to take heads and look for his own head. The original saw the horseman as really just a guy dressing up in a costume and throwing a pumpkin at another guy that was trying to steal his girlfriend. Nothing too magical about that. One of the things from the original story that I wish they would have kept is the fact that the Hessian mercenary from the American Civil War period got his head removed, not by a sword like he did in this film, but by a cannonball! A cannonball! Oh, that's way cooler, I think. Cannonball, whatever. Anyway, Sleepy Hollow was directed by Tim Burton, whom is absolutely no stranger to the horror genre. Some of my personal favorites that he's done include Beetlejuice 1 and 2, Edward Scissorhands, Corpse Bride, Sweeney Todd, oh, that little demon barber, Dark Shadows, and of course, Frankenweenie. I also had forgotten he directed the film Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I really need to review Dark Shadows. Let me jot a quick note to myself, then we'll get back to Sleepy Hollow. I promise. Note to self. The film Dark Shadows, you should review it and replace the pumpkin on the front stoop. Me fears he's gone rotten. He's rotten indeed. This film had an absolutely killer cast, with three of my favorite all-time actors stealing this show. Let's kick things off with, you guessed it, Johnny Depp, starring as the constable Ichabod Crane. What a name that is, by the way. If I was ever to have little baby vampires, I swear, I would name my firstborn Ichabod Crane. If you ever saw Disney's version of this tale, here's the animated Ichabod Crane next to Depp's version. Johnny Depp has been in lots of great horror films and has worked with Burton on more than a few projects, but I think one of my favorite roles of his is in the film Secret Window. I love myself some Secret Window. Next up on this roster is Christina Ricci, starring as the daughter Katrina Van Tassel. the love interest. Also working with Burton in the past, Ricci is one of my favorite actresses of all time. She just has these big, expressive eyes, almost like a cartoon character-like eyes, that make her the perfect scream queen, in my opinion. I want to do an episode on her werewolf film, directed by Wes Craven, Cursed. Ooh, that would be fun. Last but certainly not least, we had the Headless Horseman himself, Christopher Walken, who played the maniacal Hessian mercenary who loses his head. Christopher Walken is just pure awesomeness in everything he does. But love him in The Dead Zone. I think Stephen King wrote The Dead Zone. You know Stephen King's my boy. While we're on the subject of the Horseman, how cool is he in this film? Not only does he have no head, but he's apparently like some ninja, because he's quite proficient with his weaponry, especially for not having a head, you know. I mean, let's face it, the guy has no eyeballs. So, you know, that's pretty impressive, kind of using the Force or something. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Horseman, anyway. I like this film because of all the beheadings and the magic. Another cool aspect of this film was the way the horseman came out of and went into the tree. That tree seemed to be alive, didn't it? And was some kind of gateway from hell into the world of the living. It was just really neat the way he just rode his house out of the tree. One of the scariest parts of Sleepy Hollow, and one that certainly flies under the radar a bit to me, is the old crone witch in the cave. Remember that part? She summoned a demon or something into herself to tell Johnny Depp where he can find the horseman's lair. Oh, she was legit freaky deaky. Look at her here, a little spooky. Spoilers are a-coming here, but this film is not only a horror film, but also a pseudo whodunit mystery, as we're trying to figure out who is holding the horseman's skull and ordering to kill the townsfolk. The whole time I was thinking it was going to be, oh, sweet little Katrina Van Tassel, because she kept putting all those spells or whatever, witchcraft stuff, on the floor, but they were protection spells, okay, oh, whatever. So she apparently was some kind of good witch, or white magic or whatever, but she... As good as she was, sorry, I had some blood caught my throat, her mom was just as evil, right? She was the one who had the skull and was trying to take everybody's head. I did not find this film particularly scary, so it will receive moderate to low marks on the old scarometer. I will tell you, it's still a darn fun ride, and I highly suggest a watch, especially with the Halloween season just around the bend. I'd like to take this time to thank you for joining me here on the C.J. Racoola Show, and if you would like, share, and subscribe to the show, I would absolutely lose my head over you. Please join me next episode of the show when I look at the 1994 film Night of the Demons 2. So, till next time, my little bloodbags out there in YouTube land, make sure you lock your door, because tonight the Headless Horseman rides. And maybe, just maybe, if you're unlucky enough, he's looking for a new head, and your melon is ripe for the chopping. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.